This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
The X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell is largely an opinion talk show. All opinions, comments, or statements of fact expressed by Rob McConnell's guests are strictly their own and are not to be construed as those of the X-Zone Radio Show or endorsed in any manner by Rob McConnell, REL-MAR McConnell Media Company, the X-Zone Broadcast Network, its affiliated networks, stations, employees, or advertisers.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X-Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
And here we are. The weekend is at hand. Welcome to the X-Zone, everyone. I am Rob McConnell. We're coming to you from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. If you'd like to check us out on any of the social media sites out there, X-Zone Radio TV, our email address, xzone@xzoneradiotv.com, and our radio website, www.xzoneradiotv.com. And we're happy to say and proud to say that we are part of the X-Zone Broadcast Network. And to find out the broadcast schedule for all the great performances and all the great shows and all the great hosts that we have, 24/7, 365, visit online at xzbn.net. X-Zone Nation, my guest this hour is the Reverend Jesse Lee Peterson. And we're going to be talking tonight about President Trump's war on fake news. Now, Jesse has been seen on CNN and Fox, and the mainstream media partially blamed for the loss of candidate Hillary Clinton on fake news. President Donald Trump labeled the media the opposition party and accused them of being fake news. But does the media intentionally fake the news? Over time, they generally get the facts correct, don't they? Well, in 1999, the media said planes would crash because computers couldn't handle the switch to the year 2000. Now they claim global warming will drown Southern California if we don't honor climate treaties. Is this the path of misrepresentation President Trump has been speaking of? President Trump is lashing out against fake news, but the question is, does he have a point? Well, our guest this hour, X-Zone Nation, the Reverend Jesse Lee Peterson, tells President Trump, keep tweeting and tell us the real story. He uses his book, The Antidote, Healing America from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood, to look at the future of America, the division and lies created by the media, liberals, and RINO politicians. Joining me now to speak about fake news and why it has taken over our nation is my guest this hour, the Reverend Jesse Lee Peterson. And Reverend Peterson, welcome to the X-Zone, sir.
Thank you, Rob. It's good to be on with you. I appreciate it.
It's my great pleasure. Tell me, why do you think there is such a divide when it comes to people who believe the media and people who don't believe the media? And like you pointed out, 2012 never happened, and I can go down a list longer than my arm and your arm put together that just hasn't happened yet. So why do people still believe the media?
Well, first I want to say that my book also, The Antidote, proved that, and we can get to that later if we have a chance, but my book, The Antidote, proved that there's no such thing as racism, that racism have never existed. It is an illusion. It is a lie that's made up by the children of the lie, the liberals, the Democrats, the media, and they've done that in order to manipulate black and white people, keep black people angry, put fear in white folks in order to gain power and wealth. The reason that the media, there are folks who still believe in the media, is because they have a hidden agenda. And what we've come to realize is that the Democrats, the Democratic Party, the liberal media, the special interest group, they don't care about people, they care about politics. And so what they would do, they would use people pretending to care in order to gain what they want from them, whether it's power or attention or money or whatever it might be. And the media, being in the pockets of the Democrats, have also supported them. I saw a report recently that says that 90% of the media are Democrats. They vote for the Democrats, they support the Democrats, they believe in what the Democrats support. And I have to tell you, on November 9th, 2016, I tried to stay up on the 8th when we voted for a new president, but because I get up so early in the morning, I couldn't stay up that late. So I jumped up at 4 a.m. in the morning, turned on to Fox News to see had Donald Trump won. I always believed that he would. And when they announced that Donald Trump had won and he's now the 45th president of the United States of America, I went to cloud 9, and I've been there ever since, and I have been dancing on the ceiling. Well,
all right, Reverend, I hate cutting a man of the cloth off here on the X-Zone. I love your passion, and I, too, am behind President Trump. I believe in him, and I believe in people who want to get the truth out there. Stand by, Reverend. You and I have to take our first break. X-Zone Nation, Reverend Jesse Lee Peterson is our guest. www.jesseleepeterson.com.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
How would you like to be able to read other people's minds? Well, the next best thing is here. When you know how to read a person's name, you know how the person thinks, feels, and behaves. Each letter in our name holds a key to unlock our true essence. Our name contains both our gifts and challenges in this lifetime. Mnemology science discovers personality secrets hidden in the placement of the letters of our names, including the first and last impression people remember about us. Sharon shows us how to interpret the arrangement of letters as outlined in her book, Know the Name, Know the Person. Sharon Lynn Wyeth created mnemology science after 18 years of research and testing her theories, and has supported thousands of people around the world in understanding themselves and others better. You'll enjoy Sharon's unique teachings as she shares her system to learn the gifts behind your given birth name. Even if you don't like your birth name, there are jewels in this book. If you're thinking of changing your name, ready to name your child, or wanting to get along better with others, this is the book for you. If you'd like to improve your relationships and change your life for the better, get the book today, Know the Name, Know the Person, or visit www.knowthename.com. That's www.knowthename.com.
Take a step back in time and discover old Florida cuisine at Marsh Landing Restaurant in Fellsmere, Florida. Enjoy delicacies such as frog legs, gator tail, catfish, and swamp cabbage, or enjoy the more traditional cuisine such as hand-cut Angus steaks, ribs, and seafood. Join us for breakfast with a southern flair featuring sweet potato pancakes, biscuits and gravy, and much more. Planning a party? Marsh Landing's private dining rooms can accommodate groups from 8 to 80 people. While you visit, enjoy the historic pictures, artifacts, and stories that line the walls. Marsh Landing is truly a unique experience. Marsh Landing Restaurant, 44 North Broadway in historic downtown Fellsmere, or visit marshlandingrestaurant.com. Marsh Landing. Old Florida cuisine at its best.
If you're a seeker, don't miss the inspiring book Shamanic Awakening, Between the Dark and the Daylight. This remarkable work chronicles shamanic counselor and indigenously trained dream decoder Sandra Cochran's 35 years of experience with diverse wisdom keepers throughout the Americas. Sandy's initiations across the British Isles, Turkey, Greece, and Egypt, combined with her knowledge of symbology, psychology, and myth, influence her dream blog and workshops. Sandy offers private readings, sacred international journeys, a meditative CD, and her book, Shamanic Awakening, to encourage you as you navigate your earth walk and create a deeper connection to yourself. Find this and more at her website, starwalkervisions.com.
Welcome back, everyone. I've got to tell you something. I am really happy to have my guest this hour, Reverend Jesse Lee Peterson. Not only is he a man of God, but he's also a man who speaks the truth. What more can anyone ask for in a person that walks this planet but to be a man of God, a man of the cloth, and to tell the truth? Reverend Jesse, it's great having you with us.
I am as black as the ace of spades.
Oh,
So-
you see, sir, I am one of those strange people that you may find on your many travels throughout this planet. I do not see the outer cover of a person. Yeah. I see the person inside.
That's right.
Because anyone can have a cover made to measure and modify these days. Yeah. So I look for the inner side of the person. I look to the inner light of the person. I like to get to their heart. And that's where you find the person. And what I found over my many years doing this show is that, you know what? We're all the same. Yeah. We all are born. We all die. And it's this wonderful mission throughout our lives that makes life so exciting. And it also makes it so rewarding if you do the job that we're all here to do, and in my opinion, help each other, be each other's brother.
That's right.
Yeah. So anyway, that's all about me. So why did you decide, sir, to start getting on behind the pulpit, so to speak, and taking on the war on fake news?
That's a very good question. For a long time, I was a Democrat. I had a lot of anger. I believed into the lie that white Americans were so-called racist and that they were trying to hold black people back because of the color. I became very angry. And as you know, when you become angry, you're controlled by your outer environment. And whomever caused you to become angry control you. And so I just had a rough life like that. I believed a lie from Louis Farrakhan, Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, and the NAACP. And most of the black preachers who are not called by God, but by their mama. They were preaching that white people were racist, that they hate black Americans. And long story short, I finally asked God to let me see what's wrong, because I started to notice that the people who were accusing white Americans of hating me because I was black, they were doing very well. Those black people were doing well. Jesse Jackson and others, they were married. Their children were going to the best schools in the country. They have great jobs and living in nice neighborhoods. And I'm thinking, well, if the white man is holding me back, why is it that they're not holding those people back?
Yeah.
And that's when God allowed me to see that I was being lied to, and they're controlling me by way of my anger. And so my anger started with my parents first. I went and forgave them because I realized they couldn't help themselves. And when I forgave them, God forgave me, and he opened up my eyes that I might see. And that's when I realized that black Americans are not suffering due to this false illusion of racism, but it's due to the destruction of the family and the lack of moral character. Most blacks are immoral. And so I started Bond, my nonprofit organization, the brotherhood organization of a new destiny in order to encourage black people that it's not the white folks that they're angry at, but they're angry at their mothers and grandmothers, and they're yearning for their fathers. Because when you don't, the worst thing that can happen to children, black or white, male or female, no matter where you live or who you are, when you're turned away from your earthly father, you're turned away from God. And it leaves a void in your life, an emptiness that nothing else can fulfill but the return to the Father. And so we're showing them how to do that. Been around 27 years now. We have a program where we're showing them how to start businesses from the age of 15 and up.
Wow.
From the ground up. We're educating them because it's about the character and not the color.
I was once on in a discussion with a person on air who had the total opposite opinion that you've just expressed with us here. And, you know, they were getting right down mean and nasty. And I just said, well, how do we know that God is white? What happens if God is black? You know, we think that Jesus Christ was a male Caucasian. He was from the Middle East. He didn't have blonde hair and blue eyes.
That's right.
So, you know, I can see what you're saying, that things have been passed down generation, love as well as hate.
Yes.
So how do we turn it around? You're doing your share. You're doing your share with Bond, and I'll tell you something, Reverend, if there's anything that we can do here at REL-MAR to help you or your organization, you just let me know. I'll be there for you.
Wow. Thank you. I totally appreciate that. The way we turn it around is to tell the truth. Mm-hmm. We have to remind people that our battle is a spiritual battle. It's a warfare between good and evil, right versus wrong. It has nothing to do with the physical. And so if we are sons of God, we have a responsibility to let that light shine through us. So for those who are looking for the truth, they shall see it, and they too will turn to God. And then those who don't like it, and there's nothing we can do about it. We just tell them the truth, but don't hold anything against them, because some people are not going to accept the truth. It has always been that way, and that's the way it would be, I guess, until God changed that. And so we just have to tell the truth. Mm-hmm. I've been called Uncle Tom, sellout. I have guns drawn on me. I've been called coon, King Coon, but I don't care what they call me. I love what's right with all my heart, soul, and might. God has made me whole. He gave me perfect peace. I am an American. I love my country. And I grew up on a plantation down in Alabama. I grew up under the Jim Crow laws. I'm in Los Angeles, California now, but I grew up under the Jim Crow laws. And when I was growing up, black people didn't, for the most part, didn't have this type of hatred for white Americans. They taught us that there were good and bad in all people, that we should treat people the way we would like to be treated, work hard and save our money, do what's right. We can make it in America. But that changed under the civil rights, when the civil rights movement started, and then Jim Crow law. Lyndon B. Johnson, a Democrat, told black people that, you know, you need the government. You need help from the government, but you can't have a father. And one other quick point about that. When the black people said okay to that, they broke the spiritual order of God. There is an order, and that order is God in Christ, Christ in man, man over woman, and woman over children. It's a spiritual order. And so when the men left the home and allowed the government to become the daddy and the race hustlers become the head of the people, it's just been downhill ever since. So we all got to tell the truth.
All right, let me ask you something. Right. Let me ask you something, Reverend. You just said something that kind of blew my ears off here. Men over women?
No such thing, because it's not an ego thing. Mm-hmm. It's not a competition. It is the order of God. The love comes down from God through Christ, through man, through the woman, through the children. He did that. He made it that way. And I know this because I could see that it's true. God has allowed me to see it. But when we were growing up, I had grandparents, I had parents, I had uncles and aunts who were getting married and raising their families. And we weren't told that white people were trying to hate us. It was the government who established the Jim Crow law. It wasn't all white people.
But let's get back to the part about men over women. You know, you've said many things that I agree with you, Reverend. Many things. However, I think here in the year, don't forget when God said these words, it was quite a while ago. But now here we are in the year 2017.
Right.
If God, maybe God should kind of revamp his just a few of the words. Listen, I'm not saying everything. And all I'm saying is that there are women now, because of the fathers who have committed adultery, the fathers who have been, decided that they no longer want their families, that they have left. And there are many mothers in America and Canada, around the world, who are raising their families. And they're doing a better job, not only with their family, but they're also doing a better job when it comes to bringing their family to the church. So don't you think that maybe that we should actually look at men over women and say men beside women?
No, because we don't want to change the order of God.
Why not?
And when you hear man over woman, it's not a negative. Women who love their earthly fathers, they love that order because they know it doesn't mean dominating. They know that it's not a competition. They know that it's the order of God, and that man is going to love them in the way that Christ loved him.
But Reverend, here we have the people of Islam who wanted to institute Sharia law.
Yeah.
Where men have the right to abuse women. Women are second-class citizens. Doesn't what you're saying, that men above women, is exactly the same thing that Americans are fighting against Sharia law for?
Not at all, because you have to realize Islam is not a true religion. It's a dictatorship. It's an evil thing, because it does destroy. And even if you are a Muslim and you want to get out of that organization, you can't. You have to go and hide it. But Christianity is about freedom. It's about love. It's about the light of God working through you.
But if Christianity is all about love, why then aren't women put on the same wavelength as men?
But because you can't have two presidents in an organization. You have one. Like Christ is the man's president. We can't beat Christ. He's our president. We take our orders and our
guidelines. But there are many people on this planet who believe in God but do not believe in Christ.
I don't know how that works. That could be possible.
It is possible, and you know what? The Bible even says that we have free will.
Well, it doesn't say that.
It doesn't?
No.
Are you sure, sir?
Yeah. There's nowhere in the Bible where it says you have free will. That's made up. That's made up by prideful human beings who want to believe that they are God and that they do have a free will. We're either influenced by good or evil. If we're children of the darkness, then we're influenced by that. And if we're children of God, we're influenced by Him. But if you're children of the lie, which is Satan has a big ego, and so you will have the same nature that he has, and in that nature, it will cause you to believe that you have a free will, and when you're really influenced by evil.
But what about 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 13, where it says, "No temptation has overtaken you except what is common to mankind, and God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can hear. Yeah. But when you are tempted, He will also provide a way out so that you can endure it." That is free will.
He is doing that.
Well, of course. So He is granting you free will.
No, He's not. What He's saying there is that He will do that through you, for you. He's letting you know that you can't do that of yourself. We don't have a free will. Just think about it. Do you believe you have free will?
Definitely.
So why do you do things that you don't want to do at times, and then you tell yourself you're never going to do it again? You can't believe you did it. And
that hasn't.
Why you end up doing it again?
That hasn't happened to me.
Has never happened?
No, sir.
You've always willed yourself to do good?
Yes, sir.
And how do you know what good is?
I do unto others as I would have them do unto me.
But no man knows what good is unless it's revealed to us by the Creator.
I disagree with that, sir. There's a lot in the Bible I agree with, but there's a lot of things in the Bible that I do disagree with. Now, hold on. We've got to take a break. We'll be right back.
All right.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
There's a legend shared by many indigenous cultures of a time when the nations were cast to the four corners of the world. Each nation was given a body of sacred knowledge that held a different portion of the truth to preserve. True reality could not be known until all the nations reunited, combining the information. If a single one was missing, the world could not be reborn and darkness would prevail. The Science of Magic Radio is dedicated to reuniting the sacred knowledge. With the understanding, none of us has all the answers, but together we can open new perceptions and possibilities. Through our combined vision, the world can be reborn into a place where darkness no longer prevails. Join me, Gwilda Wiyaka, and the Science of Magic daily on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, xzbn.net, or visit us at thescienceofmagic.net.
Gibbs A. Williams, Ph.D., is a practicing psychoanalyst, supervisor, researcher, and author in New York City. Much of his life has been dedicated to understanding nature and the uses of meaningful coincidences or synchronicities. His radical and original non-Jungian, non-mystical, non-magical theory of synchronicities illuminates much of the fog surrounding this challenging and perplexing topic. His ideas and manners are fresh, presented in a style that is both entertaining and highly informative. He is also an expert on crisis intervention, specially focused on violence reduction for the police and citizens, mastering anxiety, frustration, and stress without the use of medication, and effectively preventing and treating heroin addiction. Dr. Williams can be contacted at his email address at gwwilliamsny11@aol.com or visit his website at
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X-Zone Broadcast Network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan, and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365.
True healing must address 4 levels: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual, for us to live joyful and productive lives. We tend to treat 3 of the 4, leaving the spiritual languishing. If you're tired of the same dysfunctional patterns cropping up in your life, Soul Balancing is for you. Trixie Phelps, owner and founder of Soul Balancing, is a naturally gifted energy healer trained in numerous esoteric forms, including shamanism. Trixie has created a powerful modality that safely and effectively clears your energetic field. A soul balancing session can remove interference, heal trauma, and restore your hope. Contact Trixie for a life-changing long-distance session today, www.soulbalancing.world.
Exonation, the Reverend Jesse Lee Peterson is our special guest. And his website is www.jesseleepeterson.com and rebuildingtheman.com. Once again, Reverend, I want to thank you so much for being on the show tonight, but I totally disagree with you when it comes wait a sec, sir, when it comes to men being over women. And there's something else that since you opened this door for me that I have to talk about. You know, if we look at God in today's vision of society, God should be arrested, put in jail, and charged as a very charged with murder, charged with child abuse, the way he's treated his children. How many people did God kill in Sodom and Gomorrah? Whether the people were right or wrong, he broke his own covenant with man. Thou shalt not kill. Number one. Number two, when he selected his very special family, Noah, put animals in an ark 2 by 2, then flooded the earth, killing everyone else that he had created. Because in Genesis it said, and God said, let us create man in our image, our likeness. So we've got all these people who are dead. Then you've got Moses crossing the Red Sea. God opens up the Red Sea for Moses, lets Moses go across. The Egyptians start following, and he kills a bunch of Egyptians. So if we are all God's children, how come he can murder and get away with it? How come he is revered? How come people pay homage to a murderer and a child abuser?
Well, you can't judge God based on the people.
Why not?
And because God doesn't see things
without
the way human.
But without the people, God doesn't exist.
No, that's not true.
Sure it is.
But let me just say this though. You know, you can't judge God based on the people, and what God sees clearly that human beings don't see in their fallen state is that evil works through people just as good works through those who believe in God. And so when he did what he did, he saw it was evil in those people. So he took care of evil. But in human beings' fallen state, they can't see beyond the physical unless God allows them to see the spirit.
Okay, so let me ask you a question,
and
sir.
So,
I
would recommend you not base it
Hold on here, hold on. Whoa. Slow down. You're not in your pulpit, you're on my show. We have rules here.
That's right.
Okay? So are you a father, sir?
I am.
Okay, I'm a dad. I've got 6 children. We have 9 grandchildren. Number 10 is on the way. I love them all. There are times when they have driven me beyond a state of humanity. No matter what my children did, I could never, sir, never, ever imagine hurting them, let alone killing them. And yet, God our Father, who art in heaven, God our Father, who art in heaven, he killed on a global scale. And yet people still pray to him, asking him for forgiveness. Why doesn't God ask humanity to forgive him for what he has done, for the lives he has taken, for the sorrow he has caused? How come?
Because he is God and he doesn't cause sorrow.
What do you mean he doesn't cause sorrow? He destroyed an entire race of human beings. He destroyed life as we knew it. And here's the big if in fact the Bible tells the truth.
But what you don't realize is that all human beings are not children of God. Only those who have returned to the Father are children of God. Those who believe in the Father have returned back to him. And those who have not are children of evil. They are children of the prince of darkness. They are children of the deceiver. And so you have that spirit working through them. God created all of mankind,
right?
But only those who repent and return to him are children of God.
So are you trying to tell me, sir, that in the day of Noah, it was only Noah's family in the entire world that went back to God?
Well, if you notice, it was Noah who tried to convince God not to do it. He's like, let me find 10 people who were doing right. Let me find however many. And Noah looked up and down the earth, and he couldn't find people who were doing good.
Oh.
And as a Christian, I would think that you would be grateful that God, because he does know and he created all, and that he loved you and he's looking out for you and your family, that he would get rid of evil before evil will overtake you.
But how do we know that that God isn't filling us with fake news, just like the media is? And that, let's just use this analogy. All right, you've got a deity that is telling you all this information that is fake news.
Because
wait a sec here. What happens if, based on the hypothesis of fake news in the media, that the other side, the fallen angels, really weren't as bad as God made them out to be? Because don't forget, he was the one that was broadcasting the news. He's the one who wrote the book. He's the one who has the people, the power of the people. So how do we know all this? So there's three. As a person, as a former police investigator, as a person who's been in the media for 26 years, I've learned that there are three sides to every story: his side, her side, and the truth.
Well, really, there's only two sides to the story. Either it's right or wrong. And the way you would know that God is true is because once you are born again of the Father, you will see that he is love, because you would take on his nature, and his nature is all love all the time. And it's not emotional love. It's not a love that you can feel, taste, or touch.
Okay.
It's a love that you live by. It's a compassionate love, never hating your enemy. So you would see that he's love. But if you're not returned to the Father, then your nature is that of hate, and you only know your father, the devil, and you cannot understand the things of the Creator, because he would not let you have that, because you're a son of Satan. Didn't you tell me earlier that you were a Christian?
That's right.
And so
I believe it's
know that
I
God
believe it's
is love?
I believe it's the responsibility of every Christian to investigate, to look at the Bible, and to question it, to discuss it.
I agree.
I have never been one to take anybody's religious views.
That's right.
To extreme.
I'm
Mind
the
you,
same way,
but when we look at the God factor, as I now call it, the religion and Christianity has to be looked at in different eyes these days, because we are no longer sheep. We don't need a shepherd. Now,
meaning that you don't need God, or you don't need human beings?
Well, we need each other. I haven't seen proof of God. Have you?
I have.
How?
Because he lives in me.
Or is it you? Or is it you? Or is it you, the person?
Well, I am a spirit created in his image, who created me. God created me in his image, but because I was born in a sin, which was a crazy family, the trauma of that turned me away from him. And when I became of age, I started to seek the Father in order to return back to him. And once I did that, he drew me back into my original nature, which was his nature prior to the fall. And in that, I can see that he is my Father. I can see that he is of love.
Right.
And I can see that he is spiritual.
Okay.
And also, because I came from that fallen state of Satan, I know that Satan is a deceiver. He's all lies. He's all evil. There is no truth in him. And Satan cannot understand, nor can his children understand the things of God, because he is a fake. He's not an honest being.
But who tells us this? Who taught us this? How do we know this? That that everything bad that we have learned about Satan, where does this information come from? I don't think Satan would come out and say it himself. So where did the information come from? Who spread this news? Who printed this news? And where can you find this news? In the Bible?
Originally, it was inspired by prophets, men of God. They put it into letter forms, and then it ended up becoming what we call the Bible today.
Right.
And what the Bible does is a roadmap. It instructs us and tells us where to look
or
and how to return back to the Father.
Right. So what the Bible does is it spreads the news, right? Spreads the news about God, spreads the news about Jesus, spreads the news about the Gospels, spreads the news. So here I'm going to go right back to my question. How do we know the Bible isn't fake news?
Well, one thing I do want to agree with you on is that we are not to believe in the Bible because the Bible is just a book of letters. It's a roadmap back to where to find the Father. The kingdom of heaven is within us. God dwells in us, and He's above us, but He's in us as well. So the only thing the Bible does is tell you where to look in order to return back to Him. But if you believe in the Bible, the Bible has been changed over the years.
Sure it has.
Depending on the culture, depending on how men felt at that time.
Yeah.
So you're not to have faith in the Bible, you're only to have faith in God.
Okay, so if you can't have faith in the Bible, God's presence is only spread through the Bible. Therefore, wait a second.
That's not true.
How else does anybody believe in God unless they are from a Christian family or they go to a Christian church or they go to some other religious philosophy where the Bible is used? And the very first chapter is Genesis, the creation by God. Because if God wasn't mentioned in the Bible, there'd be no God.
That's not true. What you don't realize is that all of us know the truth. Even little children know the truth. And that truth is God within us. And so if you never saw the Bible, you never heard anyone say about God, you already know the truth because He dwells in you.
So is it fair to say that God is our conscience?
Yes.
So God is not a deity, but He is part of what we are, part of a human being.
Well, no, you are part of what He is. Your spirit is God's spirit. He created you in His image.
No. God didn't create me. My mother and father did. That I can prove.
How did they create you?
They had sex.
But God created you by putting that seed inside of them.
No, that was my mom, my dad who put the seed in my mom. I'm sorry. God had nothing to do with it unless He was there and I didn't know.
I don't understand what type of Christian you are.
An honest one, sir. A very honest one.
But you're not being honest about God.
I am very honest about God because I can't see Him. I can't see any physical evidence of Him. I can see the implication and I can see the hearsay evidence. But when it comes to hardcore evidence, sorry.
Do you see Him within you?
I believe that since, as it says in the Bible, like God said, let us create man in His image, if that is the truth, then I am God just as much as He was.
So did you say no, you do not see God within you?
Just a sec, I've got to take a commercial break, and we'll be right back.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X-Zone Broadcast Network by calling 213-401-0909 courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365.
I am Dr. Carl O'Helvey, founder, president of a new cancer foundation focusing on evidence-based physical, mental, and spiritual interventions, including natural cancer cures, prayer, meditation, affirmations, nutrition, and other related holistic cancer prevention and cure modalities. These are used in cancer education, research, and financing care. I ask for your help to continue this important work by donating at www.holisticcancerfoundation.com.
Wouldn't you love to know the secret to everything? I'm Dr. Kimberly McGeorge, and on The Secret to Everything, we will merge the practical with open investigation into all realms of the mysterious. We will talk to cutting-edge alternative health practitioners, those who inspire and motivate you in business and life, and of course, we will share stories of the paranormal, conspiracy, and cryptozoology. You will transform because of the frequency I carry, the frequencies my guests carry. Life may never be the same after you listen to this program, for the secret to everything is for you, the listener, for those who desire more in every area of their lives and believe that it can still be found. Listen and discover thesecrettoeverything.com.
Little children aren't the only ones afraid of the dark. Millions of soldiers return from war zones with PTSD, anger, frustration, fear, and loneliness, much of which surfaces during the darkness of the night. You have the chance to change the lives of these American heroes. Songs and Stories for Soldiers.us provides free MP3 players for these men and women. With a list of 3 million songs in 16 different styles, 100,000 audiobooks, and 30,000 old-time radio programs, every veteran can find something to soothe and comfort them at no cost. All our players contain an 8-hour audio program designed to help veterans fall asleep. With 1,500 plus vets now participating, it's our goal to deliver 10,000 audio players this year. Go to our website at songsandstoriesforsoldiers.us. Help us help a veteran make it through the night.
Exonation, the Reverend Jesse Lee Peterson is our special guest. Here's a couple of websites, jesseleepeterson.com, that's Peter, S-O-N.com, and rebuildingtheman.com. And Jesse, is there a website so that people can find out more about Bond?
Yes, that is rebuildingtheman.com.
Oh, okay, great.
They can go there.
All right, you asked me before the break, as we were going to break, if I believed that I had God in me.
Yes.
Okay. I believe that the answer to that is in that very old book, the best-selling book of all time, the Bible. At the very beginning, where it says, "And God said, let us create man in our likeness, our image." So if that is the case, then yes, God is in me, but that also makes me God.
But the question is, do you see it for yourself, or do you believe it because you read it?
The God that many people want to believe, and they do believe with all their heart, that does exist in their hearts, the good God, the God that shows mercy that shows kindness, that shows reverence. The God of the New Testament, yeah, I see it in them. But the God that I have been witness to is the God that has treated people as, in today's world, as he did in the Old Testament. A very mean God, a very vengeful God, a very spiteful God. When I look at... Wait a second. No, sir. No, sir. It wasn't Satan that flooded the planet. It wasn't Satan who separated the Red Sea and killed the Egyptians. Because according to the Bible, the Egyptians were just as much his children as the Hebrews were. So let's go on a little bit. We had, let me see, Sodom and Gomorrah, we talked about that. And there are other examples throughout the Bible where if you did not do what God wanted to do, hey man, you were gone. I think God's motto back then is, it's my way or the highway.
But Rob, you're not answering my question, and we're running out of time.
All right, what is your question? Have I seen God?
Do you see for yourself that God is in you, or do you believe it because someone told you and or you read it?
I do not believe that there is a deity. I believe God is what we call our conscience. It is inherent in every person. I don't believe that there is a deity that sits on a cloud that looks down on us and dictates what we do in life. Because if we did this... You did
not answer my question, Rob.
I did, sir, but you're not listening to my answer.
No, I asked you, you said you believe God is within you. And I asked do you believe it because you read it?
I believe that based on what I have read.
So you don't believe it, you don't see it then?
I see the exact opposite. I see, like I was saying, in my life, I've seen the God of the Old Testament, the mean God, the nasty God, the vengeful God. That's what I've seen as a police officer. That is what I see in life today. Look at the people. Sir, would you give me a chance?
Yeah.
All right?
Yes.
Look at what's going on in the world today.
Right.
Just take a look. Wars, poverty, hunger, disease. If there was a God, and if he really cared for us, we would be living in heaven. We would be living peace on earth. Everybody would be holding hands, popping marshmallows, and singing Kumbaya.
Why do you think that?
Because isn't that what God is supposed to do? Isn't he supposed to be our creator, our father, our protector? He's doing a lousy job.
He does that for his own, but he's not going to do that for the children of Satan.
Well, sir, like I said, since God is the one that is mentioned in the Bible, maybe I've been looking at this whole religious thing wrong. Maybe God is personifying Satan to deflect, and it's God and his followers who are spreading the fake news about Satan.
And so now you sound as though you're speaking in defense of or on the behalf of Satan.
No, I'm speaking on behalf. I am speaking on behalf. I am speaking on behalf of people who have been neglected by this so-called God. The people who are in poverty, the people who are in sorrow, the people who are in need, the people who apparently God doesn't listen to.
But those people are in those conditions because they have refused to return to the Father and follow his way of life. Because if you are a son or a daughter of God, he will take care of you. You don't have to go through all those things.
But then why? Then why, sir? With all due respect, has he killed so many of his children over the years?
But those were not his children that he killed.
Didn't he create them? Did he create them? Yes or no?
He did.
Okay. So what you're telling me, just because a child, the children of God, are influenced by Satan, that instead of taking the time and the effort to try and change the child, he kills them. There. That's a father? That's a quitter. That's an abuser.
But Rob, what you don't realize, your idea of a father is not the same idea as God's idea of a father. You cannot. You're going to have to return to Him so that He can illuminate through you, so that you can see His ways.
Maybe
until you do that, you're going to only see an illusion. You're going to see an illusion of God, which is your father, the devil.
Well, wait a sec. Maybe it's not me who is seeing the illusion, but maybe it's you who has bought the illusion. Have you ever thought of that?
I mean, I know what it is to see the illusion, but now I can see reality because I sought Him. He blessed me enough to bring me in that I might see. And that's what I suggest that you should do, is to go within and know Him, and then you would see the difference between good and evil, and you would see who is the father of evil, and likewise you would see who is the father of good.
You know, I'm going to tell
earthly father, Rob?
Certainly I was.
Were you close to him?
Very close.
Okay. Because
that kind of shoots that theory down, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't. Because for some reason you're not seeing God. The things that you are saying are based on, you're speaking as though you're in a fallen state, and you're not seeing clearly.
Excuse me, sir. The day I worship a murderer, that is the day I quit humanity. And in my book,
you would not worship God?
I'm sorry?
Are you saying you will never worship God?
I am saying that the God that so many people try to sell to the people using false prophets, and in the Bible it says that we are in the time of, in the end times there will be many false prophets, and today anybody can call themselves a minister. They're false prophets. Let me ask you something. Let me ask you something, sir. Where did you get your where did you go to become an ordained minister?
Nowhere.
So you're not an ordained minister?
I am an ordained minister. I'm licensed by the state and ordained by the deacon board of my organization. But
wait a second here. So you didn't go to a theological college?
No, because no man can tell you the things of God. They must be revealed to you. And if God calls you, He will prepare you. He will guide you. He will reveal things to you.
So let me ask you this.
No man know what God will have you do or say.
All right, so what gives you the right to try and tell me what I should believe in if you yourself, did not go to a seminary?
Why should I go to a seminary?
Wait a sec. So wait a minute. So what you're saying is that there are those people who go to the seminary who preach the Word of God are hypocrites, right?
Because they're only teaching what man have taught them and not what God reveals to them. So there's many standards on what should be done, how it should be done, who should do it, who shouldn't do it. Sounds like a lot of different steps for something that is supposed to be so real. Well, God said, "Let no man teach you. Call no man your leader. Christ is your leader. Let the Holy Spirit teach you." And many preachers have gone away from that, and that's why the world is going to hell in a handbasket, because they're like the preachers of old, the ones that Christ called hypocrites and Pharisees. They run around proudly quoting the scriptures, but they're far from their hearts. Yeah. And so if you really want to know God, you go to Him yourself within you, and the Holy Spirit will reveal all things to you, and it will be the truth. Well, I'll tell you something. I will believe you, and I will believe every other preacher that is out there. You will? When God, the God that you're talking about, does a lot more for mankind than He has ever done before. I don't know what that means. I do want to tell you that God is not your conscience. God is a spirit, and you are a spirit created in His image. The Holy Spirit is the conscience of God. It will teach you all things. It's a teacher. So all right, I hate to do this, but you and I have to say so long for tonight. Exo Nation, my guest this hour has been the Reverend. Well, we'll call him a Reverend for now.
because that's what the PR sheet says. Reverend Jesse Lee Peterson. Wow, I think that this guy spreads more false news than anybody else out there. I'll be back on the other side of this break. Don't go away.